Well, hello there. Welcome back to Intentional Grid Setting and Creation. So today I'm letting you peek again underneath my entrainment table. So I have multiple tables. At the moment there are 2 grids supporting the room, but also the tables that are over them. And so this is the other crystal grid that is quietly working in the background during every session. And the intention for this grid is about perfect harmony. Finding perfect harmony in the body, mind, and energetic field. Because when our cells within are in harmony, when the community is in harmony, the whole expresses harmony. And so we start with the base, the structure underneath. And I'm starting with this Merkaba, or also called a star tetrahedron, as that base. And so this is a sacred geometric shape made of, if you can see, it's 2 interlocking triangles. We often see this as the union of masculine and feminine. Heaven, earth, those 2 balancing aspects of nature. And so for my work, working with the nervous system and embodiment, I use it as a template of coherence. And so ultimately, when someone lies face down on this table above this crystal grid, what I'm inviting into their field is that sense of being back in balance. Finding that symmetric aspects of the body, and also that inner order. So, that was a hard one. Balance, symmetry, and inner order. So take a moment and just observe the Merkaba. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth, letting this geometric shape and map activate the codes of balance and harmony, helping raise the vibration of your human energetic field. And so, in the middle of this Merkaba, I'm placing as the center stone, the anchor stone, this smoky quartz point. And so smoky quartz is one of my favorite stones, something I've been working with since, I think, as a kid. Definitely a mineral in the quartz family that I have always been drawn to. And it's my favorite stone when it comes to transmutation and grounding at the same time. Smoky quartz is a beautiful harmonizer as well, and it's that stress drain. It gives the energy of the system an opportunity to transmute that dense and chaotic energy into something that is usable without having to dump everything. And so in session, people are releasing stress, old energetic charges, emotional debris. And what I love about smoky quartz is it helps draw that up and through, and then it helps to reorganize it. And instead of just letting it float around the room, it's giving direction. And so right here in the heart of this Merkaba, it becomes the harmonizer. It's gathering whatever is stirred and turning into something more stable, calm, and usable. I really do love this piece, especially for this work. And so with that, we're keeping it simple. So next, I'm placing a chip of hematite on the east and the west, the left and the right of the grid. And hematite is a deeply grounding stone that loves to bring energy down into the body. It brings it into the blood, into the bones, all the way to the iron core of the earth. It can hold a lot. and it supports us so deeply in our work. And so then by placing it on the horizontal axis, I'm actually creating this beam of stability from side to side, supporting both hemispheres of the brain, both sides of the nervous system, and overall structure of the field. It's this smoky quartz that's doing this refinement process and harmonizing the field, and then hematite is there in support with its two balancing aspects, saying, let's anchor this into real life, into your physical form. Like, we don't want to get too etheric. What I love about this grid is that it's really letting us be here now. And so the intention for the grid, again, is perfect harmony. What I love about the Merkaba is that it is holding the blueprint of balance, while that smoky quartz is transforming and organizing whatever is moving. And then the hematite grounds the new pattern into the body with ease, without having to work too hard. And so when someone is face down on the table and above this specific grid, it's like their system is just being gently reminded of what that inner harmony feels like. It isn't forced. It's just invited back to its natural, coherent state. Our system is always looking for that sense of balance to some degree, right? We want to make sure that the parasympathetic nervous system is working alongside the sympathetic. One isn't doing more than the other and staying out of balance. How are we moving along in life and making small adjustments here and there so that we can keep an eye on everything, we can clearly make decisions, we can listen to our body's needs. All these pieces require a sense of balance, right? Not heart swinging one way or the other too hard. And so how I work with this in sessions, so I come in to care or come into the studio and make sure that the studio gets turned on, let's say. Everything gets opened up and energies get refreshed, and the space is being set. And so before I start any entrainment sessions, I like to take a breath and activate the grid with this intention of perfect harmony. And that can be as simple as your sacral breath, pulling it from that solar plexus, help activate into the grid. And then I usually place my hands over it and say something to the nature of, may this grid bring perfect harmony to everyone who lies above it or sees it in this moment, balancing their field, holding the frequency of harmony, and organizing anything that's ready to shift. So that's beautiful. That feels really good. Okay. And so just a reminder, it's like this right here is supportive. This isn't what I'm relying on over the hands-on work that I do, but this grid is allowing for assistance and assisting with holding the frequency of harmony while I help and guide someone track their nervous system and the body into more ease and into more of their own personal harmony. So, isn't she pretty? I just love it. It's simple. Like I said in other videos, that there's a lot of components that are powerfully and intentionally put together, but it's a very simple grid. And so if you feel called to work with crystal grids, you don't have to copy this exactly, but maybe you might want to. But I encourage you to get creative and use shapes and stones that speak specifically to you and that you have on hand. And I think the biggest piece is just choosing a clear intention. If you're going to put a grid together, just be intentional. Find that one word, whether it is harmony or grounding or heart opening or abundance, whatever it might be. And if you would love for me to film other grids that live under these tables, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe if you want more behind the scenes of maybe how I set up my healing space, or just come back more for some beautiful intentional crystal grid work. My name is Melissa Moon. I am an Elon healing facilitator, a masterful embodiment mentor. Thanks for being here. Bye.